I can only imagine how much better he could be with the proper equipment.
Yes.
As I am one of those people who do believe that equipment can make quite a difference in your in your style of play, and even in your abilities, and especially your mechanics.
That is right. One thing to point out here for Dan Cake, he is in a way a very greedy player, which has cost him games. Sometimes he does not scout enough, sometimes he just wants to get his early expand up and gets punished for that. Otherwise he has great decision making, great drop play. He always loves his tanks, he puts them in great positions, but again, he doesn't scout all that much, and that is a huge problem, as StarCraft 2 is based around information, and the more you know about your opponent, the better your chances are of winning and making the correct decision at the time. But it is pretty standard here, as my mouse goes a bit crazy. Excuse me for that. Hatch first here for Bulletproof, which will be scouted very late. Well, not very late, but too late.
The SCV is making its way now, so not a very, very late scout as we predicted. In any case, one other thing I'd like to add, which will definitely factor itself into this game, is that these two are friends, and they do play each other quite a bit. So they are very familiar with each other's styles, and we've seen this does have quite a bit of impact on how the games usually end up. I mean, they're both very talented players, but I think knowing your opponent a lot could sway the game in your favor quite a bit, or even against you quite a bit. And looks like Dan here is going for the factory, so we might be seeing a Hellion expand, I guess.
I mean, he loves his little Hellions. He gets about 2 to 4 and then switches into siege tanks. But yeah, like you said, teammates do know how one plays against each other, and there are small things that they pick up on that no one else will know, but they will know themselves that, okay, he's doing right. That we saw a bit of that in the GSL. I believe it was OGS Curious playing OGS 4GG.
Okay.
I believe, please guys, don't quote me on this, please correct me in chat, and on this very map, he put down 2 proxy Raxes near the third here, and he's Startail Curious, isn't he? Oh my god, I'm getting my things mixed up here.
Oh, and our first mistake of the match winners.
Tell me.
Dan, unfortunately, missed the factory landing.
Oof.
He did not get it in the reactor, and they already started producing the first 2 Hellions, which will not be coming out at the same time. So, a small little mistake here. And as we predicted, it will be a Hellion expand, as he is building his second command center. Bulletproof, in the meantime, is about to get a speed upgrade on his Zerglings, and is building a spine crawler just outside his natural.
That is right, thank you. So sorry about the little I'm got my the teams mixed up there. Of course, Curious is on Startail, and as I said, his opponent, who is a teammate of his, he put down 2 proxy Raxes on this very map near the third base on the left hand side, and he scouted it at the very beginning. So these are little things that only these guys know about because they play each other so much, and Curious was able to win that match.
That's exactly what I was talking about, winners. Knowing your opponent really well definitely is a factor to consider in the matchup. Dan, with that clutch supply move, does prevent the Zerglings from going in and scouting everything. Second barracks on the way here, and Stim being researched. In the meantime, not much really happening at the Zerg base. 24 Zerglings though in the making, so Bulletproof might be worried about some kind of attack coming, or is maybe planning his own attack very soon here.
Well, he does know the Hellions are out on the map. He does have speed, so if he gets a nicer round, he will be able to deny. And very nice here, moving forward, the Zerglings denying Dan from getting rid of those creep tumors. 1-0 for Bulletproof. I like. Very nicely done.
Right, that's of course something which is very important in this matchup. Terran should always try to poke a bit with Hellions or Marines to try to take out creep tumors here and there. And Bulletproof has done that very well here, as He is scouting around with a lot of Zerglings here. Just want to make sure that nothing fishy is happening.
Is that a
But
run by?
looks like it might just be it, as there's nothing stopping the Zerglings from making their way towards the
poor
main.
decision making here.
I'm surprised he's going for the bunker. He should actually go inside and try to do damage in the main, but looks like he might just have enough. If he takes out a tank, then this attack will be more than worth it for sure, and looks like he might just do that. He does take out the tank.
Gets another Marine. Oh no, he even gets in
and denies the wall, and very unfortunate for Dan, and great move by Bulletproof, taking out a lot of Marines.
And
some
these
SCVs,
Marines
and
are on
even a
move
tank.
command. Oh no. Oh, this is Dan Cake is back in the Stone Age.
He's definitely, losing that first tank definitely is a lot of hurt for the Terran, and he essentially, has to restart any plans he already had. Something like this can absolutely demolish your timings, demolish your build orders, which you were planning, and looks like Bulletproof trying to push his advantage here, running in more Zerglings here, taking out yet another tank, and going after some of the SCVs, and Dan's in a lot of trouble, winners.
He definitely is here. I mean, this SCV mule train is going to go down. Mining
Look
time.
at this, a lot more Zerglings are being rallied in, and
oh, this is July Zerg here, what I'm seeing. He's just going to continue rallying, and there's nothing much that Dan K can do. Behind this, maybe Bulletproof can get his third base up and going. He already has his macro hatch. Have been observing too well. He's getting a hive as well. He's scared of any Banshee play. That's why he's getting spore crawlers here, but very nicely done by Bulletproof, and he's definitely in the lead here.
Right, I'm surprised he's not trying to do a little more damage with his Zerglings, try to maybe kill off this command center, as he is doing that now. Command center, but is being lifted off, so no damage from them, but like you said, winners, Dan is in a lot of trouble. He's now down to only 46 supply compared to Bulletproof 69. I'm surprised Bulletproof has still not taken a third, as I think he should. The Zergling attack has been very successful for him, and this is his chance to fall back, take out one or maybe even two bases, produce more drones, get more upgrades, and wisely choose his tech path.
That's right. Let's see. The starport is being built near the factory, and Dan loves his Banshee play. Spore Crawler is already out. The layer is there, so the Overseer can be made. Let's see if the building swap does occur, because Dan loves his Banshee play, and Bulletproof knows it, but no reactors. So medevacs are going to be the course of the day. And
right,
still
he
no.
definitely needs those medevacs. I think Dan essentially realizes that he has very little chance of coming back into this game, but I'm surprised Bulletproof is not a lot more up in supply. I guess he wasted a lot of resources on a lot of those Zerglings, which are now idle, doing absolutely nothing. He is now taking his third base. We do have an infestation pit, and am I seeing things right, winners? Do we have 2 layers?
Do we have 2 layers? Yes, 1 layer, 2 layers. Yes, 2 layers. So, upgrades galore.
I'm really not sure. That's possibly the only explanation here. One thing I'm not liking about Bulletproof is that with all those Zerglings now doing absolutely nothing, he should be try to be a little bit more proactive with those Zerglings, but he is not.
Well,
and he's giving chance for Dan to come back in, as Dan is already almost tight on supply here.
And yes, Bulletproof does point out that he has 2 layers. Very nice. Well, not that big of a deal. In case he loses one, he still has another. So better be safe than sorry in this case. But this is something you don't want to let happen too often. Actually, I would like to disagree with you on something. I like the fact that he is not wasting these Zerglings. Siege mode is up. The Wallen does occur, has completed as well. So running those Zerglings in wouldn't be too good. I would like him to have the mobile on the map to scout around, and maybe to pick off units here and there, because Zerglings are basically free as far as I'm concerned.
I do know what you mean, winners, and I did not mean that he should run them in and try to attack. My point was that the Zerglings were sitting somewhere in the map doing absolutely nothing. He should have been maybe have groups of them going around constantly, looking out for any hidden expos or something like that. which he wasn't doing. I certainly did not mean for him to attack, as that would be a grave mistake. But
yeah, he has about 83 and no Baneling Nest. I mean, he does have the resources. He's floating about 1k minerals. He should get a Baneling Nest. I mean, especially because he's going Infestors. So Infestor Muta Banelings is kind of what the game does dictate. And I feel getting all these Zerglings, if the upgrades for the Terran are great, with Medivacs and these Marines on stem, they can do a lot of hurt.
they certainly can, winners, and it is very surprising that there is no Baneling Nest. Usually, he already has the Zerglings for it, so it's very strange that he is not making a Baneling Nest just yet. He is taking up to Hive now. I certainly hope that he only takes up to Hive in one of the bases, not all. He still hasn't taken a fourth, which is even more surprising. I mean,
Yeah, and
I'm just trying to understand what Bulletproof is doing. I mean, after that great attack he had with the Zerglings, he should have expanded a lot more. He should have done a lot more. Infestor, okay. So he's trying to do some, some kind, I guess, clever kind of play, but I'm not impressed, winners. I am certainly not impressed. I think he could have done a lot more, way better. If he threw 2 fungals on all those SCVs, he might have taken them all out. And I do not think losing 2 infestors, the amount of damage he did, 4 infestors, sorry, the amount of damage he did was worth it.
No, absolutely not. And he is up to 116 Zerglings, but only 62 drones here. Not impressed.
Still no signs of a Baneling Nest.
No, I don't know if he just forgot about it, but now there's the Ultralisk Cavern, as well as all the other upgrades here. I mean, he does have the Overlord drop upgrade, the Eventual Sacks. He could go for Baneling jobs if he'd like to, so this is definitely something I'm going to ask him after the game, as we have a huge clump of Zerglings now here in the middle of the map.
He certainly doesn't want to go with those Zerglings in that narrow choke point. Those siege tanks, a few voids would take them all out. I think at this point he's just trying to accumulate enough Zerglings to do exactly that.
That is ugly.
He does get a surround on all the Marines. Dan does save some of them, but he's now about 25 supply behind. And the only explanation I can think of for all those Zerglings is to provide support for those Ultralisks. Ultralisk Zerglings is a great combination, even better with a couple of Infestors tagging along. Looks like the 5th base for Bulletproof is up. Dan trying to take his 3rd, but the Zerglings will be able to spot it and deny it here.
Yep, there's a beautiful
around, and so many Zerglings, and Dan should lift off, and no, he does not lift in time, and Zerglings do take out the command center. And oh my god, the SCVs are still ready. There's
the SCV train.
No, he misses it, does not decide to go back.
There's one Zergling there, spotting for it.
Yeah, I guess he did not have his eye on the map at that moment.
Nope.
Could have taken out around 20-30 SCVs very easily here. And looks like he's looking to take out that clump of units here. Will he go for it? Looks like it, but no, he should fall back.
Look at his bird infestors.
Bird infestors
very
here,
nice.
and very nice infested Terran play here, as the tanks are forced to damage each other. Lots of splash damage, taking out one tank, especially considering it was a free attack, as the infested Terrans only use up energy and nothing more. And here we have winners. Ultralisks are out. 3-3 is about to complete. And once that happens, with the 200 army, the Zerg will almost definitely attack and finish off poor Dan, who has really been on the back foot this entire match.
Yeah, and Dan Cake has his 3rd kind of just hanging out there, which is now spotted by Zerglings. These mules will be denied, unfortunately, and yes, SKMC. For those guys who haven't heard here, but let's talk about that after the battle. We have Ultras here coming in. Ultras are not being supported. Oh, there are ghosts out there, and they're sniping away, but that is it. Dan Cake down 1 game against his friend Bulletproof.
That's right. So that game went on a little bit longer than it should have been. I guess Dan felt that he had a chance to come back, and for a while there I thought he might have. but Bulletproof was just taking a lot of damage very